was so good.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? Welcome to the Cigar City Sports Podcast. Doing a little bit of a different format. If you just came from the college football show, you know that we're breaking it up this season because we got a lot of folks that just want one or just want the other. You want to listen to both? Great. We love you. If not, great. So this is going to be the NFL breakdown episode. Getting into some free agency moves. Only one move that I really care about happened. My son, my favorite football player, Julio Jones, has signed a one-year deal with my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And, you know, there's a high sodium concentration in this room right now.
Me ain't no salt here. Not at all. Shit, y'all enjoy Julio on that bench.
I just don't.
I will.
Two players.
I just don't understand.
The same thing for me as it is for you. The coolest thing that comes out of this is you get to get a Julio Jones jersey for the Bucks, and I get one for the Titans.
Let's go.
That's it.
I'm down.
I just don't understand why.
I don't either, and this is one of those where I don't care. People go, he's not getting paid a blockbuster deal. He waited this long. He's here for one thing and one thing only.
Wouldn't Green Bay make more sense?
No, because he has to do work. And this is what and honestly, this is why I don't care that he's gone. Because last season, I swear, it was like he thought he was going to ride the H train to all the way to a Super Bowl, and it didn't happen. So he's going to probably do the same thing in Tampa, hoping that Godwin and Evans and Brady, he can just hop on their coattails so he can at least retire with a ring. That's all he wants.
I don't disagree at all. I think he knows he is coming to a team that by NFL professionals have rated the defense top 5. We've got Tom Brady. You know we are a top 5 offense in this league. You cannot tell me 5 offenses that are going to consistently outpace the Bucs this year.
But again, it just doesn't make sense. You brought in Russell Gage in the offseason. Right. Hey, you have Johnson. You have Scotty Miller. You have Darden.
You talk about bottom of the barrel guys.
They're not bottom of the.
You listen to look at any of those guys that you mentioned.
Hey, you were just as excited last year for Julio in Tennessee.
We were
blew
crowning
him up.
We were crowning Tennessee.
Yeah, and then what happened? He just couldn't perform.
He couldn't perform. But at the same time, those guys that you named, they couldn't hold Julio's jockstrap on a good day.
That's not true.
That is absolutely true. That is absolutely
in
true.
his prime, yeah, but right now,
here's
Julio
what I'm saying.
Right now,
Here's what I'm saying.
I take Scotty Miller. Miller.
You're not doing this for him to come out and put up big numbers. You have 2 of the best wide receivers in the league, both of which are better than him right now.
And you have Bashard Perriman or whatever his name is still, don't you?
Yeah.
Perriman, I think, is on the teeter-totter. I don't know if he's with us this year, but Russell Gage is the number 3. We know that. Julio is not even trying to take snaps from him. Julio's there because he's a veteran presence in the locker room with some of those younger guys if they wanted to be that. Mainly, Tom Brady wanted him. So Tom Brady got him. That's it.
Is this his last hurrah?
Yeah.
And I mean, in this one, if he is somewhat healthy, because when we got him, I guess he wasn't as healthy as they thought he was.
Sure.
And he can go in there and bang out.
Now, if he can go in there and be... I don't see Russell Gage having a problem having to sit to a healthy Julio.
I don't think Russell Gage would know.
You're not paying him like that to sit him behind Julio.
I'm just saying, if he's out there and you don't think he's a matchup nightmare, which right now I would say you're right. But if he comes in healthy, like Ryan's saying, and he can make plays and move the ball down the field, even if he's only in there on 3rd down, Julio Jones can catch the ball.
Who are you cutting or who are you trading? That wide receiver room is too crowded.
I'm putting Johnson and Scotty Miller on the trade block.
Only
not because of Julio, but because I have Russell Gage. And I don't think either of those guys add enough value right now to earn that spot over Russell.
So you're trading one of them within training camp to maximize their value.
Honestly, I don't care how crowded the room is.
You're going to have to cut one. You're not going to be. You can't keep them all.
Yeah, you can. There's plenty of teams that do.
Because lots of people have injuries. You got Godwin, who's coming back from an ACL.
Who's not starting at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
they say he'll be lucky to start week 1.
Yeah. So, I mean, if he can't go, and Julio can, Mike Evans and Julio Jones, never thought a sentence I'd ever say.
Crazy. Well, actually, you're still talking Mike Evans, Russell Gage, Julio Jones.
See, Russell Gage still hasn't hit that for me. Like
big one. No, I think he hasn't had the tools around him.
I agree.
I think this is one of those things where guys show up and they play up to their team. So Russell's going to show up not being the only target on the team, which last year Kyle Pitts was the target that he shared with, but it was just those two.
Yeah.
And he barely had Matt Ryan. Offensive line couldn't do anything. Defense couldn't get him off the field to keep him back going. And Russell Gage still found a way to shine. So now he's going to be going against your second or third cornerback. I mean, he's going to have a good year. Is he going to go over 1,000? I don't know.
He's got one of the quickest guys throwing the ball to him.
Yeah.
3 seconds, 2 seconds,
and
out of his hand.
It's just one of those things. It's going to be a different level playing for somebody like Tom Brady. We've seen it already. We saw it the first year he showed up. Everybody, as soon as he showed up, put on their big boy pants and started trying to play their ass off.
So Edmonds and Godwin, whatever, they're playing on the outside. They're your starters, unless he's not ready week one.
Factual. Yeah, no, absolutely. And they're interchangeable right now. Yeah. Evans, I don't ever want to see him go anywhere, but Godwin right now offers more value. He has more of a game, I think, than Evans does.
So then
he gets dirtier yards than Evans does.
So your third receiver slot, whatever you want to call it, would be Russell Gage.
100%.
And then you put Julio and then Johnson and then Scotty Miller.
There's also packages. It's not like they're counting wide receivers that are coming in.
I also think that you can put Julio in a slot.
Yeah. Can you imagine that?
One of the best route runners.
So you're thinking Gage is your 4 and Julio's your 3.
No. Why do you keep having to put the number on it?
I'm just curious. I'm asking him.
No. You just want to have a splash take on it. We're telling you right now. There are packages. They'll come in for certain situations and come out. But who's going to get more carries? Gage.
Yeah. Especially, I think they might lean more passing because they don't really have a run game.
And Julio ain't blocking for nobody.
Yeah. Julio don't block. Julio goes and catches the ball.
He blocked his first, 9 years in the league?
Yeah. So.
Speaking of 9 years, Evans is coming up on his 9 years right now. Be the first guy ever to come into the league and get 1,000 yards every year. Do we think he repeats that this year?
Yep. I think Tom Brady's going to make it a thing to make it happen.
Huh. I mean, that's another record for him to be a part of.
Yeah. And to also push him.
What do we think about Kyle Rudolph coming to Tampa Bay?
That's what I was just going to say. What are you thinking, Brate or Rudolph?
Oh, again, two different players. Mm-hmm. One of those guys is a possession guy, although Brate will do anything you ask him to. He's not going to be the best blocker, but he's better than O.J. Howard was. He's not got as good a hands as O.J. Howard, but he'll catch the ball more.
And I think that was O.J.'s thing. Like, why am I coming in here to block? I shouldn't be blocking. I should be catching passes.
Right. And he's going to have a
make it
long
really
day.
Interesting in Buffalo, though.
Yeah.
I like that Leonard Fournette came out and said, got 2 days left of vacation. See you in 2 days. And they posted him blowing up like a balloon.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
He said, see you in, what do you say? See you at August 27th.
Or something like that.
Or no, not September something, because it was week 1. See you week 1 for all the people who were talking about his weight.
In other news, Chris Carson retired today because of injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does that mean Kenneth Walker III takes the job, or is it Rashad Penny's to lose?
It's Rashad Penny's to lose. He's now he's one of the senior most vets in that locker room.
Right. But he's got a kid that came out of Michigan State that's like a thoroughbred looking to bust out of those gates.
I wanted him.
They might actually let him
Kenneth Walker,
the other guy, run.
Let's see the camp. Let's see the camp.
Right.
I mean, no coach worth their salt is going to pick a running back that high and then say, you're just going to sit behind Rashard Penny.
I mean, he did have a great fantasy season as number 2 to Chris Carson, and when he went down with injury.
Okay. No. You don't draft a guy like Walker to sit and not have that kind of numbers, especially when now you don't have Russell Wilson anymore.
I mean, sometimes you can have him sit, but they don't have the starter to have him sit.
They're going to need to establish a run now. They're going to need to be a team that runs first. Look at their freaking division. You're going to have to run the ball, and you're going against 2 of, I'd say, the top 5 defensive lines in the entire league in San Francisco and the Rams.
LA. I mean, Arizona's no slouches either. But I just, with that quarterback play, like, who do you trust, Drew Lock or Geno Smith?
I don't trust Geno Smith, I'll tell you that.
But Drew Lock is like a wild card. He's like a poor man's Brett Favre.
I'll take the poor man's Brett Favre in this particular scenario because Geno Smith has had plenty of times to start the game.
Do you think the Niners trade Jimmy G to Seattle, like within the division?
There's talk of Jimmy G going to literally every team in the league except for like Green Bay or Kansas City. There's talk of him going all over the league except for the teams that drafted a QB first overall or has a stud quarterback already.
If I'm Seattle, I try to get my hands on him.
Yeah.
Because you still got DK Metcalf out there. You still got
Tyler Lockett.
The only problem with that is...
And you have Noah Fant now.
Yeah.
The only problem... They had him last year.
No, he was in Denver last year.
Oh, that he was part of the trade. He was
yeah.
part of the trade. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm trying to get a hold of Jimmy G because I like Drew Lock, but look at Jimmy G's record. Say whatever you will.
He's a winner. He's a winner.
There's a lot of people who say that Tom Brady isn't the greatest quarterback of all time despite the hardware that he's got.
And, I mean, that's stupid.
But see, you that is stupid. So look at Jimmy G's record. Who cares if it's pretty? Who cares if it's pretty? Who cares if it's flashy? Does he win you games?
Yeah.
I mean, he's one interception away last year from playing in the Super Bowl.
For sure.
If Truitt or whatever his name is, that safety catches that interception, they're going to the game.
For sure.
You know, and everybody was underwriting them since when they went to Green Bay in the middle of that blizzard.
Yeah.
Where Aaron Rodgers choked
and Debo Samuel.
What's up with that? Shanahan says he's going to be there a long time.
I want to go back to Rudolph, though. I think now we're going to see a rotation because of Rudolph. I don't think he's going to get a lot of passes thrown his way.
Do you think he's more situational?
I think this is like a Moneyball situation where the Bucs are trying to recreate a player with a couple different players. So in order to get Gronk, you got Cameron Brate using the hands, and you got Kyle Rudolph doing the run blocking.
But Rudolph is like that situational goal line, big target in that crowded space.
I agree.
With that big body, right?
I agree.
Brate is your guy running the seam route.
He's going to get down the field.
Right.
He's going to catch the tough catch. So, yeah, I think that's what's happening. And Rudolph, I think, actually is a great pickup. Brate and Kyle Rudolph do not equal Gronkowski.
Can Rudolph stay healthy?
He doesn't have to. He's not in New York where he has to be the guy every down. He's got somebody who's a team vet.
Is Brate ready to be the guy every down?
He was the guy every down.
I thought Gronk was the guy every down.
You know why Gronk was the guy every down? Because Brady wanted him there. And he came in and stepped over a guy who was doing really well at that position under Jameis Winston.
Do you think Gronk comes back midseason at all? Is there any chance? Is there any chance?
I don't know. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. I don't care. I'm happy for him. He came here. He did his damn thing. He wants to stay gone, stay gone. If he wants to show up at camp and start playing, nobody's going to be like, nope, we don't want you. Myself included. So I don't care. If he retires, he retires. See you later.
I thought he already retired. I thought it was already
No, I mean as in not coming back.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Michael Thomas went on the PUP list.
Ooh, what is going on with him?
I don't know.
He is still, if I'm the Saints, I'm not even counting him in.
What? You have to. He's literally the guy.
No, because it's been, this will be his second season?
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably just rehabbing and just taking his time coming back from that
He said a lot of
injury.
things about that Saints organization.
I think it was more Sean Payton. I think he didn't like Sean Payton. I think Sean Payton's a great coach. He's just not an amicable guy.
So now when he was against Sean Payton and the front office didn't say anything, front office didn't do anything, now Sean Payton's gone. Does he think they got rid of Sean Payton for him?
No, I think Payton was leaving anyways. I think that Miami Brady Sean Payton thing was alive. I know you don't want to talk, you don't believe that shit, but I'm telling you, I think it was alive.
People have said something about it. I don't know how alive it was.
And don't be surprised if Sean Payton comes back next year and is getting his ass kicked in the NFC East every year in year out in Dallas.
In Dallas.
Yes, because I think Mark McCarthy's on a hot seat. I know Jerry Jones came out and said, if I didn't want Mike McCarthy here, he wouldn't be here. That's why he's the coach. Blah, 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 blah. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. I think that Mike McCarthy is either put up or shut up.
I think Jerry Jones would not admit he was wrong if his children's life depended on it.
Also true.
He's the first one to come in there and say, yeah, I like Mike McCarthy. But I agree. I think Sean Payton would definitely go in and go into Dallas.
And with that talented
that
roster.
matches his mentality. that matches the way that he likes to be flashy and play football. I mean, that's a perfect fit. Sorry for the Dallas Cowboys that it's Sean Payton, but it's true.
He screams Dallas Cowboys when you
really
look
does.
at him, right?
He really does.
The coach is good enough. He'd get Dak.
Sorry, I hit the soundboard.
I'm not Googling anything.
But yeah, dude, I think Sean Payton would be a great fit there. I don't like him. I don't like him at all.
You don't like Sean Payton as
Not
a coach?
at all.
Really?
Nope, I don't like him.
What? Why?
I think he's a dirty piece of shit.
Okay, well, that's true. He was part of Bounty Gate. He did ruin Brett Favre's last chance to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like his attitude. I don't like when Jameis Winston came there and he goes, he's going to learn more about the NFL in one season than he has his entire career. Shut the fuck up.
But we're going to see what Jameis is made of this year now.
Don't sleep on Jameis Winston. Do not do that under any circumstances.
He's got the receivers. He's got the he's got the talent.
Who'd they draft?
Was it the kid out of
Here's the interesting
Ohio
thing:
State.
is will Sean Payton be a difference maker with him not there? Will the Saints be the same team without him? I guess he said to himself.
Hold on, I'm looking.
POV, both these guys staring at their phones, not answering the
Sorry,
question.
I was just trying to look up what Michael Thomas might be out for. Apparently, they say it's an ankle.
It's been something. It's been a leg injury this whole time.
Yeah,
I mean, damn.
but
I don't know what
he was expected back to camp.
and decided all of a sudden he's
I just wanted to make sure it was Chris Olave. So it's Olave.
Yeah.
They've got Marcus Callaway and they've got Jarvis Landry and Michael Thomas.
not bad.
Jarvis
not bad.
Landry back in NOLA.
After 6 games, they get Kamara back.
Back in Louisiana where he went to college. That's his stomping grounds. Jarvis Landry.
Oh, Jarvis Landry, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that Kamara suspension
Same
isn't
with Tyrann Mathieu.
right.
He wanted the same thing.
And that suspension is not set in stone because the NFL is still investigating the blah 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 that happened at the Pro Bowl or whatever the hell happened with Kamara.
I think they might give him 4 at max,
Yeah.
maybe even lower than that.
Do we think that the Atlanta Falcons have anything in the tank?
Nope.
Nothing.
They have plenty in the tank. They don't have talent on the roster. They have plenty in the tank.
Does Mariota start every game this year, or does
No, he'll probably get hurt.
I say if he gets to 10 games
the kid out of
and
Cincinnati
they
get a
don't
shot?
have a winning season, if they get to 10 games and they aren't winning and Mariota's not the answer, which he's not, then yeah, Richter's going to get in there and throw. The kid, why not? They're going to put him in there. What are you going to lose?
I mean, they were drooling over this kid in the 3rd round, saying he was the best overall quarterback, blah, 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 blah.
If he was the best overall quarterback, one of those 31 other teams that got really QB hungry in the 1st round would have taken him. He didn't do anything when it came time for him to do something.
Alabama did put the boots to the poor kid.
He won no significant games with Cincinnati.
Notre Dame.
He won no significant games with Cincinnati. He shows up to play Alabama, and in the first half gets freaking mollywopped. And then you see him on the sidelines trying to do the whole replacements thing, yelling at his guys, saying, I just need help. Just give me an opportunity. Just help me get there. And he still got shit on. And a lot of those QB talents aren't saying, give me an opportunity, give me a minute. They're making it for themselves. I can't tell you how many times I saw Jameis's goofy ass pull out of tackles and bomb one down the field. It's on you making plays for yourself. I don't think he has the mentality. I think that Cincinnati hype got to his head, and I think once he finally gets to start, they'll realize 3rd round was actually exactly where you needed to draft that kid.
Or not even.
Exactly. Because you knew you were losing Matt Ryan.
I mean, Mariota could be somewhat decent.
He could. It's interesting that him and Jameis are in the same division.
Again.
Yeah.
So the last team of the division that we are going to talk about is the Carolina Panthers. Now, let me just go over some of these players on this roster. In quarterback room alone, they drafted Matt Carroll, and they have 2 number one, Mike Corral, and they have 2 number 1 picks in Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield on contract years.
Sure.
Not to mention you have the one of the best Swiss Army knives in the NFL in rushing and catching the ball in McCaffrey, and a solid backup in Chuba Hubbard.
What's a Swiss Army knife if it's rusted shut and you can't use it?
I mean, if he stays healthy, though, you can't deny that.
And they drafted a big-ass left tackle in that Ikimu Ikwanwo, whatever his name is. And their wide receiver room is not bad. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Terrence Marshall Jr., and Rashad Higgins are just the top 4 targets.
They've got some good pieces on defense, too.
I'm not going to lie to you. I could care less.
Brian Burns is still there.
Right now.
About Carolina?
Yeah.
They still are going to beat Atlanta for that division.
So
Atlanta's dead last in my book.
What do you expect from Baker Mayfield in Carolina? Matt Rule's one of the hottest seats in the NFL.
I like him.
He has to make it. He has to do something.
I like Matt Rule, but go ahead.
He has to produce. He has to show that he's developing the team. He can't just fall flat on his face again.
Yeah, and a lot of that was, I mean, hey man, they were breathing smoke early in the season, and then you realize your quarterback is your quarterback,
Sam Darnold. But now that room is talent. There's a lot of talent. There's 3.
No. There's a lot of high draft picks.
Yeah, there's a lot of wasted draft picks.
I honestly, that QB battle is between Baker Mayfield and Matt Corral. Because if I have to pick between everybody in that room right now, Baker gets the start.
And then assuming Corral.
Honestly, I let the rookie start. Ain't got nothing to lose.
I don't trade for somebody who played in the toughest division in football and then throw him in my locker room to not do anything. I don't trade actual equity when I need to develop this kid who's going to get his mouth smashed in by a Tampa and a New Orleans defense.
Why would they give up assets to bring in Baker to sit him on the bench?
They gave up a 5th-round pick.
That's still an asset.
Hey, Randy Moss was traded for a 7th.
Yes. And we did nothing with him.
No. He was traded to the Raiders and did something with him.
Yeah.
Well...
So draft capital is different to GMs and front offices than it is to us peons, because I agree with you.
No, I mean, it's number 1, you got him for a number 5 for a 5th-round pick, and it's obvious why. You had OBJ, you had Nick Chubb, you had freaking David Njoku, you had Jarvis Landry, you still...
Rashad Higgins.
You still did nothing.
I mean...
That's not true. To say that he did nothing, he was the most successful quarterback the Browns have had since Bernie Kosar. Right? I mean, is there anybody else? And they've had a long list of first-round draft picks.
What's his nuts?
Don't say Vinny Testaverde.
No, not Testaverde. This dude.
Bernie Kosar is the last winning Browns quarterback I can really remember. And it was the 80s.
I can't
90s.
remember that far. I don't think I was born yet.
No, I don't think we were either. The Super Bowl, they lost... Or the conference championship they lost against the Broncos.
Yeah, you're talking to the wrong guy.
But I'm just saying that to say Baker is a scrub is wrong. And the only reason why they only got a 5th-round draft pick is because they signed Deshaun Watson to a ridiculous contract.
And they agreed to pay some of Baker's contract.
Exactly.
So if they're doing that and they're agreeing to take him on, he's the starter.
Right, he has to be.
Corral is not a pro-ready quarterback. I don't think so. I don't think he's worth it.
Are you circling week 1
for
Panthers,
Matt Corral?
Brown? Isn't that the big matchup?
Oh, Baker will start that game and he will get smashed.
Ooh.
It doesn't matter who plays quarterback for the Browns. They're going to smash Carolina.
Yo, that wide receiver room in Carolina is no joke. DJ Moore is really good.
They are. That defense in Cleveland is really good.
We'll see.
Is it in Cleveland or is it in
I don't know.
Carolina?
I'll look right now.
That up. But I don't really think Baker is going to make that big of a difference. If he does, good for him. You know he's going to do that Oklahoma thing where he's swagging in front of the Browns. He's going to have something snarky to say or have nothing at all to say after the game.
If he gets his shit kicked in.
If he gets his shit kicked in, he's going to say how much he loves those guys. It was great to see them again. He wishes them all the success in the world. I guarantee you.
At Carolina. Dude, Baker's gonna be dancing, hyping, going nuts. God, how awesome would it be if the Browns got one of those brown flags and they did to Baker what he did to Florida State with the Sooner flag in the middle?
That was Ohio State.
Oh, it was Ohio State? My bad. I'm sorry.
I don't think Baker's going to be doing that. I think Baker's going to figure out what it feels like to be a TV dinner in Myles Garrett's house.
Hungry man.
Myles Garrett is a beast. Are we denying that he's just one of the best players in the league, period?
No, and Jadeveon signed for less money to go back and play in Cleveland. Those guys want to win in Cleveland.
Yeah, they do. The problem is their quarterback is going to be sitting, but we'll see.
Jadeveon also signed for less because his value ain't as high as it was.
No, it's not. He's never been the player he was drafted to be
at all.
Even at the Texans, he was not the player he was meant to be. He couldn't outshine JJ when he did that.
So consensus: Atlanta last, Carolina third, and the Saints first, and the Bucs second.
I personally don't agree with that. I think they have the best shot at the throne, but I think it's Bucs Saints.
Is there more than one team making it to the playoffs? Wild card out of the NFC South.
NFC South is clearly New Orleans in my book.
So New Orleans is the only team in that division. No Carolina.
Carolina's not going to get enough. They're going to have too much turmoil on the sideline. I don't see them getting it together and then having that much of a win over other teams in the NFC, like the Eagles. They'll be another shoe.
Well, we're going to win the NFC East. So
I actually have y'all picked to do that too.
Yeah,
it pains me. But for sure, you
How
guys.
Dare you?
No. Dallas will be knocking at the door.
Dallas will be knocking on their way out. Wow. It's the Gophers I'm more worried about.
We got to work on your trash talk.
But before we go,
whoa! Can we go back to that?
What?
Can we go back and not drool on my mic, please?
I did not.
Ryan, hold on. I need you to be a key witness here. Who are you worried about with the Commanders?
I'm more worried about the Commanders.
Whoa.
Because Chase Young's coming back and that defense is
that's not what he said, is it? I think you mentioned the quarterback.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything about that bum-ass Ronald McDonald looking
We're going to run
fool.
it back because you said something about the quarterback for the Commanders. Who is who?
But before we go to that...
No. Answer the question.
Before we go to Crybaby Wentz,
So I'll just mute you because you don't want to answer it. Let's go back to Ryan. Yep. I believe... He just said he's worried about losing the division because of Carson Wentz, who plays for the Washington Gophers.
Yeah, he absolutely plays for the Groundhogs.
So you mean to tell me that Mr. Eagle, Mr. Fly Eagles Fly, Mr. I want to show up to the playoff game in Tampa because I think we're going to smoke you, is worried about Carson Wentz?
Hall of Fame quarterback, Big Dick Nick. Thank you.
Wow. That was eye-opening. Honestly, it really was. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I'm still muted. This is bullshit.
I just don't understand how you could talk that much trash about a human and then tell me you're scared he's going to take your division.
Because he's still good.
Can I tell you why I think the Redskins have the closest chance to take the division?
Tell us the obvious.
Chase Young is coming back. That defense is all together.
Ridiculous.
They have a receiver opposite of McLaurin now.
Who?
They have Logan Thomas at tight end. The kid they drafted this year.
Who is he?
Hold on. I got to go look. And Antonio Gibson is going to be a stud. He said he's concentrated on running. Okay. He doesn't want to be a two-way running back.
You think Ron Rivera's the guy, huh?
I think Ron Rivera is not. It's not like the greatest coach, but he's not a bum coach.
I recall Jonathan... What's his last name? Jonathan Allen?
Yep.
And another defensive lineman from Bama fighting on the sidelines.
But that was...
You think Chase Young comes back and solves all that?
I do. I really do. 130,000%.
Now, I do tell you, Washington's defense is stout.
Jahan Dotson got drafted there. They brought back McLaurin. They have receivers now there. They have an offensive line. They are ready.
Wait a minute. Who did they draft?
Jahan Dotson.
Isn't that your boy?
That's my boy from Penn State.
How did you not know who that was?
Bro,
after you talked all that shit about Jahan Dotson,
which, by the way, called it.
And I ask you, and you go, I don't know who they got.
I know. I just wanted to be clear. I wanted to make sure. I get these guys confused.
Got it.
I mean, they're
By
ready
the way,
to go.
I want to wish John Mechie a speedy recovery.
Yeah,
Found
man.
out he has leukemia.
That's shitty news for a kid who just got drafted.
It really is. He's
one of the things I wanted to talk about, actually.
Sitting out this year to focus on his health. Good for him. Hope for his speedy recovery. But what were you going to say?
Do they go through physicals and stuff like that? Like a deep dive?
I was curious about that too, how they discovered it.
Because it's only got to be what the draft was just 2 months ago?
April.
Yeah.
3 months ago?
Yeah.
It didn't just pop up, or maybe it could have, but it's one of those things that you would have thought before they draft a guy, we run him.
I'm sure you have to give any team that's scouting you or looking after you access to your medical records to a certain extent. So if he knew then, I think the teams would know too.
I don't think they go into in-depth like that, and then once he reported to the team, they did more testing and stuff, they must have found it. But they said he's got a really good chance of beating it. It's not, I mean, it's bad, but it's not like terrible. I don't know. They say he should be back next year.
Well, here's a roster move already for the Bucs. Kind of not surprising here, but Cody Mcelroy, we drafted him 2 years ago. He's a tight end out.
I mean, you guys did bring in Rudolph, so.
I didn't realize he played for 11 years already.
Yeah, so if we're going to talk about the East, let's do it. I like Washington to be number 2. And, and there's a lot of mixed bag about Jalen Hurts. One guy in Philly media is saying his arm's underrated. Another guy saying he's throwing 14 incompletions and 7-on-7s inside the red zone.
Another update before we jump into the NFC East, because I do want to. Levante David and Chris Godwin have both been 100% medically cleared for camp.
Oh, so he is going to start week 1.
I doubt he plays a single down in preseason.
No,
I would be so shocked. No way. I don't think he does.
Just to get that game time in?
Just to see how he feels, maybe. But I don't think he sees big-time minutes. Even in the fourth or the third game. I don't think we see it.
I think more second game, you might get him like a series, and then that's it, kid. Hit the showers.
Maybe.
But again, like the wide receiver room is full. Someone's getting cut or traded during training camp. So the NFC East, I don't believe that the Cowboys have a shot.
I don't think anybody's arguing that the Giants are last place. They're the worst team in that division.
They're not the worst team, but with their first-year coach,
they are the worst team because
they have one
Dallas
of the best
is better
tackles
than
last year. He didn't give up any sacks.
That's
one of
great.
the few guys that didn't give up any sacks.
That's great.
But I think one hurry.
I think in 2 years, Tristan's led up to Tristan Wirfs. So it's valuable having a big tackle like that.
And Saquon's coming back. They got Dable. I think they're last, but I don't think they're as bad as everybody thinks. I think the Dallas Cowboys are third. I think Mike McCarthy, that team's spinning out of control. I think they're going to miss Amari Cooper a lot.
I think so too. And I think they're looking at an 8-8 season.
Maybe not 8-8, but definitely 9-7, something like that for sure. 10-6, 9
and 6,
10-6, 9
or 10-7 now.
Yeah, 10-7, 9-8, something like that.
Man. I think they're going to miss Amari Cooper terribly. I think Dallas is one of those places that shoots themselves in the foot year after year after year because Jerry Jones throws down the money. He gets all the hype for the Cowboys, and he tries to support his guys, and nobody wants to say anything. No notable Dallas Cowboy has ever come out and been really vocal about things that need to change on the team.
So what's the hottest coaching hot seat? Is it Rivera in Washington or McCarthy in Dallas?
Well, it's not Daboll. He's got immunity.
Right, and Sirianni made the
playoffs. He's not getting touched.
Going anywhere.
It's McCarthy.
I 100% agree.
It's McCarthy because it's
with
the
Sean
Dallas
Payton.
Cowboys. They are the most lucrative team in the league. They are constantly in the spotlight. You're always on a hot seat in Dallas. But I'll tell you what, the first time a Dallas Cowboys head coach wins a playoff game, he's going to have quite the secure seat for a minute.
You're going to have to win and make there.
I know.
And not run the ball with 4 seconds left.
I'm just making a statement. Anyway, hey, let's take our first break of the day, and then we're going to get back into some more off-season moves in the NFL and maybe Aaron Rodgers trying to look like Cameron Poe from Con Air. All right, so let's get back into it. What were you saying about Zeke?
So I was reading one of the articles I sent in the group chat before we came today, and it talked about how Ezekiel Elliott isn't playing up to his contract, and it's literally one of the worst contracts signed for the Dallas Cowboys, and that they were talking about possibly even releasing him before the season even started this as a camp casualty and a cap cut.
How has he not been living up to his contract? I'd love to hear this.
They said compared to what he's getting paid and the yards and how he's performing, it's just not the value isn't there.
I mean,
but I guess 1,200 and 1,400 yards is not good enough.
And
for these people.
leading the team in touchdowns. I mean, what are we talking about here?
I think they're just counting their chickens with Tony Pollard, and they don't want to lose that talent to.
I agree. Tony Pollard's a talented guy, but I think Pollard needs Zeke to survive
because I don't think Pollard can hold on to that NFL 17-week load.
Because right now Zeke is beating the other team into submission, and when they're tired, you get a fresh RB1 walking in who can scamper and can catch and can do all those things. That's why he sees so much success. Zeke is one of the most consistent guys in the league since he's been here. We've talked about this before. Living up to his contract, consistency, and being on the same team and performing at the level that he's been performing, I think he's earned every single cent that he's got on that contract. And dropping him before the beginning of the season is a typical Jerry Jones move, for one, if he did. For two, it's a major loss for the team, especially because he's your quarterback's best friend. So you're going to cut that relationship too.
I guess. I just don't see it happening. And I don't think he's not performing to his contract's worth because he's still a top 5 running back in the NFC.
Yeah.
I mean, he put up 1,000 yards last year, 900 the year before.
Speaking of 1,000 yards, before we go on to Green Bay.
That's right. That's right.
Miles Sanders will put up 1,000 yards, and I'll bet you $1, whatever the hell you want it to be.
A crispy dollar.
A crispy dollar.
To go right here.
Actually, it's got to go in front of him.
It would be right here in front of me, signed, dated, and I'll say Miles Sanders is a bitch on it too.
Wow.
Even though he won't be because he's breaking 1,000 yards this year.
He's really not, though. I hate to break it
He's
to you
breaking
like
1,000.
this as your friend. I hate to tell you, but Miles is not breaking 1,000 this year.
He is. He had 800 last year and he missed 6 games.
Oh, Henry had 900 and he missed 10.
Again, you're just spoiled. You're just spoiled. You have the Hulk as your running back. A lot of teams can't get that.
Hey, we picked him up in the second round. If y'all had faith in him, y'all could have grabbed him in the first.
Yeah, that's not a bad point. If you want Derrick Henry and you're upset about him now.
But to say, well, my guy, my freak of nature who nobody can tackle got almost 1,000 yards in 10 games or missed 10 games. Yes, I understand that, but that's more of a exception to the rule type bullshit.
Okay, so
what you're saying is your boy
at the end of the day, what matters is your boy didn't get 1,000 yards.
Nope.
So conversation's over there.
Yep.
And
So
he's not going to get it this year either.
Yeah, he is. So are we in? Are we in for this dollar bet?
Oh, we're in for a penny in for a pound, my good friend.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So there's going to be $2 in front of him. First the Blade one, and then the Miles Sanders
It's not
one.
happening.
We might
So on the Alter Ego podcast, we have a bet going that Blade will come out in theaters in 2023. That's the bet. So that's why he says there's going to be 2 bets. And he owes me a crispy dollar that has to sit in front of him if it happens. So now the bet is Miles Sanders rushing will not exceed 1,000 yards.
1,100.
I think you guys should really up the ante and
1,100?
make it a $2 bill.
$2 bill it is.
All right.
You're in, sir. You're in like Flynn.
Let's see it.
Did you guys, thanks to my
When I
lovely
get
wife.
that crispy $2 bill,
Yo, check this
I'm drawing
championship
a
ring.
crown on it.
Okay, so hold on. Nello brought in a replica championship Eagles ring. And as much as I dislike the Eagles, it looks good.
Yeah, it's all right.
Not only are the Eagles Super Bowl champions, but I am fantasy champion. And so look at this ring.
He got really upset.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Still
Come.
not going to happen.
And we all know that he has to worry about his terrible shit talking. Jesus Christ. It's so bad.
Oh my gosh, look at how shiny it is. Philly special, Big Dick Nick style. Thank you, Nick, for everything you did, Nick Foles. Thank you. So one more thing before we go to Aaron Rodgers. Do you think the Jaguars can compete in the AFC South? With a new coaching staff that is actually a professional coaching staff, Etienne coming back, those signings, Doug Peterson bringing a real NFL culture to the team. Really? No?
No.
I do.
I agree.
I think they'll compete because they're in a division with the Texans. I mean, they may surprise somebody, but I'm interested to see what the Titans do. You guys have traded away a lot of big pieces. It's not going to be easy to repeat last year because right now, all people have to do is stare number 22 in the eyeballs.
See this ring?
How's that going for him?
That's why AJ left you guys, because he wants one of these.
No, it's because we don't want to pay people.
That's that more so than
Let's
others.
Be honest, it's not why he left. He would have loved to have stayed, and in fact, apologized to us and said it wasn't his fault.
Wow.
So,
He's just like, I wanted that extra $6.
Is
They
Aaron
wouldn't give it to
Rodgers
him.
too cocky?
it was literally, I think it was like $2 million, man.
Is Aaron Rodgers too cocky?
Yeah, that walk today, him looking like Con Air, Renegade, whatever the heck you want to say. Is he too cocky?
No.
That walk, that little strut of, look at me, I'm the shit. Aaron, you don't have a receiver. You have Adam Lazard and 2 rookies. That's it.
He's my quarterback. I would much rather him be cocky than not. than, hey, guys, let's just go out there and have fun, huh? Let's go out there and be a team. That's not what you pay him for.
He'll make a wide receiver out of somebody.
For real. He is one of the few quarterbacks in this league that is capable of throwing people very open. Tell me I'm wrong.
I guess, but who the hell's going to run into the ball? Sky Moore, Watson, they're still going to have a learning curve from Eastern. Where did he come from? Western Michigan.
Michigan, Western Michigan,
and North Dakota State.
What learning curve? How to catch the goddamn ball?
You still got it. You're going against pro caliber corners that they weren't doing.
All they have to do is get separation.
Exactly.
That's the difference between Aaron Rodgers and them other guys. Is Aaron Rodgers will A, throw you open, and B, anticipate you and have that ball be there. I mean, he's an excellent quarterback. Do I think any of those guys are going to equal Devontae Adams? No. But that might be a net positive. Because then when you're looking at the team, not that it mattered, you don't know who to key in on.
I guess that's true. Well, you're going to key in on Lazard at least. You're going
to key in on Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. So you're going to have to.
So you're telling Rodgers beat me.
Yeah.
And I was going to say what's going to happen is I don't think that's going to happen. Rodgers is going to go out there and gunsling because it's Aaron fucking Rodgers.
And it's going to happen. Right. That's what I was going to say. You're going to tell Aaron Rodgers beat you, and he will. He will oblige you.
Like we're not the Seattle Seahawks. We don't have to worry about just our run game because we don't have a quarterback. We still got Aaron fucking Rodgers.
Aaron Jones, too.
I know, but Aaron Rodgers didn't help them in the playoffs. He forgot that he was throwing the ball in the second half. Which, by the way, speaking of championships, it's so heavy.
No one said anything about championships.
This ring is so heavy.
You said something about playoffs.
This ring is so heavy.
Didn't they win like 4 years ago?
This fantasy football championship Super Bowl ring is so heavy. Let me take it off.
That's not even a fantasy football ring.
I know, but I got myself one of these because of that. I didn't, this is the reason why this ring is here, because when you're a champion, you need to let the world know that you
why
are
does it say
champion.
fantasy football champion?
Well, because it's
why does it say Eagles?
Well, because we are the Eagles, and I am a champion just like them.
You talk shit
ago, though, right?
like a deaf person who's wondering if somebody's in the room with them.
Listen, at the end of the day, none of y'all could get done. I'm glad that we have 11 or 12 spots filled in the first league. Another team, thank you for your donations again when I win again. Some people came out of the woodworks thinking, like DJ Saylor thinking he's going to beat me when he's not. AB trying to do it again, not going to happen. Camillo, good luck.
DJ hasn't played with us yet. He's coming out of retirement for you.
Yes. Andrew Ralph, same thing, coming out of retirement. I've already beaten once. I'll beat him again.
God, I really hope you're this happy and this excited if you get beat this year.
I'm just saying.
He's going to be last.
Ooh, I'm not betting on that. I won't book that Nello's going to be last.
So
he is very good at
first to worst, though. Happens a lot.
He did, however, say no matter
Especially
what,
in consistent leagues.
no matter where he ends up, he is drafting Jalen Hurts first overall.
I didn't say that. I said if I'm not in the top 4 picks, I'll take Hurts in the first round, which I will.
I cannot wait to see that.
Dumbest pick ever.
Why would it be the dumbest pick ever?
Because you just said Jalen Hurts in the first round.
4th pick of the first round.
I'm just saying, anything out of the first 4 picks, and it's going to be Hurts.
I could literally probably name like 40 other people that are probably better to pick than Jalen Hurts.
40? That's a lot of people.
I don't even think there's 30. There's a total of 32 starting quarterbs. So you're telling
I'm not necessarily saying
he's not talking about
I'm
quarterbacks.
talking about just a better pick.
Right. He wanted to agree with you there. Shut up.
I'm just saying, when you become champion, you can say whatever you want. But until then,
after next year,
the ring, baby.
I'll talk my shit.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have to
better
win.
believe that.
What?
And you know what's the funny part is? Anybody who wins is just going to shit talk you anyway.
I welcome it with open arms. You got to beat me first. That's the problem.
All right.
And no one's been able to beat me.
So we don't have a firm draft date yet. It is obviously going to be before week 1 and as close to that as we can get to give people the opportune time to see the players in camp, see them in the preseason. You know how we do.
And if there are other people that want to play a second league or more people that want to play that listen, I'll play. I'll beat them too in another league. I'm fine. I'm ready to go.
Solid, man. That's really, really good trash talk. You're amazing. It's really,
I know. Thank
really
you very
great.
much. Did you see how shiny this championship ring is? It's like,
see what
beautiful.
I mean? He's one-dimensional. It's like a unicycle. It's cool at first, but after a while, it's just a guy sitting on a wheel.
Is there anything in the NFL you guys want to bring up?
I'm ready for the season to start. That's for sure. I want to start seeing some games.
We got training camp, but a lot of them started today.
Yep. So they're off and running. I mean, this thing is only going to heat up from here. So I think that's actually going to do it for us here on this end. A little short one this week, but I'm sure it's going to get longer as we go.
The only thing I want to see is the 2-2 train.
I want whatever Tyreek is smoking in Miami.
Oh, my God.
That's what I want. The most accurate quarterback in the NFL.
No, listen, I love Tua. He's a national champion. He's a Heisman Trophy winner for Alabama. I love him for that. That's really great.
I'm not gonna lie. If I'm Patrick Mahomes, I call bitch what? I gotta seriously call him out.
Well, Mahomes has the biggest arm, I think. Him and Josh Allen have the biggest rockets, but accuracy, Tua is known for accuracy, but I don't know about most accurate in the league.
He said most accurate.
Tyreek is just trying to go for headlines. He's Antonio Brown 2.0.
Oh man, that sucks.
He knows his career is washed.